YouTube, it's your guy, not your average trucker. Back at it with another video. Coming to you on a Easter weekend. It's what is that? Saturday, March. I don't know what today is, man. Maybe the 30th. Y'all know I suck at dates. Yeah, the 30th. Real quick video. Nothing to do with trucking. Instead, it has a lot to do with e-bikes. As y'all know, I started getting interested in e-bikes last year, 2023. Prior to 2023, it was never on my mind. One day I was sitting in my front yard and a kid rolled by. It looked like he had a chopper. Like, this dude is like my son age, so he's like between 13 and 15 years old. And it looked like he was riding on a motorcycle. It looked just like a little chopper, right? Like a Harley. So while I'm sitting there watching my kids play, I'm freaking Googling, like, what the hell is this guy got? And then that's how I stumbled upon e-bikes. And I bought my first e-bike, which was like a Super 73 clone, which was, it had one motor that was only like 750 watts and two batteries, two 48 volt, like 15 amp hour batteries. Bike did like 30 miles an hour or something like that, 28 miles an hour. Two batteries, you can ride it for a long time. And like I said, I never thought about an e-bike, never heard of an e-bike. It was 2023. And I jumped out the window, right? Fast forward all last year, stumbled on all these e-bike reviews, you know, Super 73s, freaking TALARIAs, Xions, all of that, right? So I quickly, like I said, I become addicted. I ended up making my son one. He's 7. You know, I bought a little front hub motor joint for him. Bought a little bike, put that on there, right? I started hooking up razors. I had a, what's that up? I forgot them all. I had an MX 500. Then I had a RS 650. I don't know. I had like 4 razors that I ended up putting bigger motors on, bigger batteries, tricking them out, bigger brake shocks and all that. Like I said, I become addicted, right? So it came a point where I was about to order a TALARIA XXX, right? TALARIA XXX. Those that know e-bikes know what that is, man. It's a little bike. It's like freaking maybe 31 inches off the ground. Does like 47 miles an hour, 60 amp hour battery, right? So I was about to order it, and then something was like, yo, man, look at this Facebook Marketplace, right? And at that time, I never heard of Xion. You know, they're a West Coast bike builder. Never heard of a CyberX. But when I was looking for TALARIAs, the person selling this, I guess, had that tag, right? Yo, shout out to Biggie and Tupac, AKA Beavis and Butthead, man. I don't know if I ever wore this shirt on this channel, man. I had this shirt maybe 10 years or more. But anyway, this dude had this CyberX, and he was selling it. And, you know, I'm a dude that like to negotiate. He had one price up there. I didn't know what it was, so I had to Google it. You know, he had the back 4000 controller, all these lights. Supposed to have lights on the wheels, but they stopped working. But anyway, I talked him down really cheap because he had the bike at the time. He had maybe 50 miles on it, right? So he had the bike. He bought it when he lived in San Francisco, but now he lives in North Carolina. And he had been having issues ever since he got the bike. And it was just a headache for him, right? So his loss is my gain, so I thought, right? When I bought it from him, the only thing it would do was turn on and you could drive it, but none of the accessories worked at the time. The wheel lights, the acrylic panel lights, the headlight, none of that would work. But when I got up there to test drive it, as you can see, I got everything working. When I got up there to test drive it, You know, I removed the seat, and I immediately saw what the issue was. The issue was the accessory positive wire, for whatever reason, it just looked like it burnt out, right? So, easy fix. So, needless to say, I got this thing for way less than what I was about to pay for the TALARIA. The TALARIA XXX was going to be about, it was, at the time, it was $29.99 or something like that, plus shipping. So it would have cost me maybe $3,400-$3,500 to get it to my crib. And I got this for way less than that. And on paper, this thing is way better than the XXX, way better than a MX3 or MX4, way better than a Xion on paper, right? Because this thing has 72 volt battery. It had a freaking, I don't even remember what the capacity is of the motor, man. I know right now it's tuned to 8,000 watts, but it's capable of a lot more, right? So on paper, I'm like, hell yeah. So I get the guy way down in price. I buy it. I drive it 3 hours back to my house. He was in Apex, North Carolina. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Immediately upon getting it here, I fixed that positive wire, got all the lights working, and I was hyped, right? So he told me about this Facebook group that they had. And so I got to searching the Facebook group, and I see that he previously had issues with his controller, right? Mind you, this dude never told me that. So, but it's all good. I got the price. They selling this bike between $5,000 and $6,000 now, right? They don't even offer the controller that was in it. It was a back 4000. I think now they only offer like a back BAC 2000 or BAC 8000. So I see that he had a problem before. His controller fried on him. They sent him a warranty controller. He installed it himself. And I could tell by the comments that he had previously posted that he had issues after he installed that controller, right? So now I'm like, oh shit, what am I getting myself into, right? Needless to say, you know, I was hype at first. 'Cause like I said, once I got the lights working, like I say, punk ass wheel lights don't work now, but once I got the lights to working, I ride it around my neighborhood. Bike at the time is advertised with the back 4000. It was supposed to do like 55 miles an hour, but I was only getting like 45, right? So Xion, they have a website, and they have customer service where you can schedule a remote tuning session, right? So I wanted to make sure, because like I say, I searched all his comments, and I could see that you know, he installed this controller himself or whatever, so maybe he didn't do something right. I made sure the wire was good, scheduled an appointment to do a tuning session, right? And that's where the fun begins with my communication with Xion, right? I set up an appointment, you know, they confirm my appointment, and they tell me, you know, it's such and such date at such and such time. And with them, you have to do a video chat because, like I say, it's remote. So I do that, right? I'm there at the time. I'm in the video chat app. These mofos stood me up, right? I'm in there for 20 minutes. Nobody shows up. So now I'm pissed, right? So I set up another appointment, which was 4 days later. This time the guy shows up. We do the remote tuning session with the backdoor app or whatever for ASI. We tune it up to what he think the settings should be. Yeah, this is the app. Shout out to John Chan. I guess that's who I was talking to. But, you know, it rained a couple days, so after that, I didn't get to test out the tune for maybe 4 days. Then, you know, with his tune, we'd tune that particular controller up to like 7,500 watts, bump the phase amps up to like 400. Anyway, after that, it was able to do like 55, 56 miles an hour, and I was cool with it, right? Mind you, by this time, I hadn't had the bike but a couple weeks. And this is November 2023. When I got it from him, the bike had 50 something miles. It was less than 90 miles, right? So less than 100 miles. Dude, I guess had the first generation of bikes. And I get it. You get the first generation of anything. Like I had the first generation Model Y over there. Like I was the first batch of people to get a Model Y. So naturally, there's gonna be some kinks. And being that I got it far less than retail, this thing retails between $5,000 and $6,000. I didn't even pay anywhere near half of that. So I was cool, right? So what I noticed, because I had taken a bunch of short rides, I noticed, being that I'm familiar with e-bikes and controllers, I've had Sabaton controllers, I've had far driver controllers, I've had generic Amazon controllers. Like I say, I built 4 of those Razors, built my son a bike, put new motors on Super 73s. Like I've only been dealing with e-bikes for a year, but in that year, I've become super duper technical with them, right? Doing it myself in my garage, or got a 4-car garage, in my garage, or in my basement, right? Knocking it out. What I noticed on this thing is, I would go maybe 2 miles, and the temperature be going up, right? So I'm like, what the hell is going on with this controller, right? And so, again, I'm in the Facebook group that they have, CyberX VIP or something, right? So I post the question, yo, man, anybody having a problem with the BAC 4000 overheating, right? Like I go 2 miles and that sucker is up to like, because the bike start turning down your power once you hit like 80 degrees Celsius. Mind you, 80 degrees Celsius, if you convert that to Fahrenheit, that is dumb hot, right? So everybody's like, nah, man, we don't have that problem. Then I'm searching other people, because people put these back 4000s on Xions and TALARIAs, all types of bikes and go-karts. People like, yeah, it's known to get hot, but it shouldn't get that hot. Maybe put a heat sink on it, right? So I put a heat sink on it, right? One that will fit in that space, right? That made it a little better. Instead of going 2 miles before it heated up, I could maybe go 10 miles, right? So, you know, I 5 times my range just from a freaking heat sink. But likewise, I got this big ass battery, 72 volts, 50 amp hours. I should be able to go I should be able to go further than 10 miles before I gotta, park it, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's how much fun is that? Because most of the time I ride around with my kids, and I live in a huge neighborhood, so we just riding around the neighborhood in the street, and it overheating and me having to come home and switch bikes was getting stupid. So I do another video chat with these people after being in a Facebook group. The dude is like, yo, set up a remote tune and maybe we can figure out what's going on, right? So we do the remote tune. He tells me maybe I have a faulty controller, right? Because it was overheating. And I'm like, listen, when I bought the bike, that's the main thing I hate is I own a fleet of semi-trucks, right? 20 plus semi-trucks. I bought new trucks. I bought used trucks, right? Just like cars. I only really buy new cars. I don't really do the used car thing. But I say all that to say, when you buy anything used, right? You buy a used Nissan, a used Honda, a used anything, and you deal with the dealer, they don't care whether you got it new or used. All they care about is, yo, you're a part of the family now. You're a part of the brand. We're going to take care of you, right? We're going to get your Honda, your Nissan, your motherfucking Bentley right. Help you, because now you're a part of the family. Not these CyberX mofos, right? Not these, what's that? Does it say it on here? Xion.bike. That's their punk ass website. Not these mofos, right? Once they found out that I bought it secondhand, they didn't give a shit about me no more. Mind you, this is a new company. This dude did a GoFundMe just to get his company off the ground years ago and all that. And you could search them mofos on YouTube, and you don't see many people making videos about this punk ass bike. And I can see why, because their customer service is ass. Ass. Like, I hate them mofos. Once they found out I got this bike secondhand, even though it only had 50 miles on it, 50, not 50,000, not 5,000, not even 500, had 50 freaking less than 100 miles, right? On a bike that's supposed to do 55 miles an hour, you can bust down them 50 miles in 2 damn days, right? So once they found out I was used, they ain't give a shit about me no more, right? He like, yo, just get another controller. And I'm like, wow, right? So again, I'm asking people on a little Facebook group, and the administrator realized that I'm the same person that they done did a video chat with. Them motherfuckers blocked me from the Facebook group, right? I'm in the Facebook group asking for help. I am now an owner of a Xion punk ass bike, and my bike is not functioning properly. I understand I bought it secondhand. I'm just trying to, like, I wasn't even mad at them at first. I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to get the bike right because the previous owner, in less than 50 miles, went through 2 controllers, right? Next thing I know, I'm blocked from their punk ass group. I log on. It says, yo, you suspended from this group. I'm like, what? I ain't say nothing negative to them. I ain't argue with them. I'm literally asking questions. The last post that dude said was, yo, man, I told you that you bought your bike secondhand, you got a faulty controller. And then he blocked me from the fucking group. I never talk shit about them, say nothing about them, right? So I ended up ordering another back 4,000, right? From another freaking seller, right? I'm like, all right, he said I got a faulty controller. I got a deal on the bike. You know, controller was like $600 or something like that. I'll take that L. Get this bike working, because even putting a new controller in it, I'm still way less than what the bike costs retail. I'm still way less than what I was going to pay for this TALARIA, right? So I get the new freaking controller, hook it up properly, go for a test ride. Brand new controller. That bitch overheat. It overheated so bad, it did this. Look at that. Like while I was riding it, I could smell it. Like, yo, something's on fire, B. Right? Turn around, go to the crib. Oh yeah, these is the punk ass wheel lights, right? I've had 4 of these. It came with 2 on it. They worked for a couple days, then they stopped. The reason they stopped is because this shit is proprietary. It got these springs in here that contacts, I don't know if you can see it, maybe on this side. It contacts this panel here, you know, gives it electrical energy, and it lights up. But when these things aren't making good contact, it stops working. The problem is the design is flawed because the wheel was on there perfect. It was lined up perfect. Everything was perfect. However, I don't know, for whatever reason, these things stop sticking out. The spring in it goes bad. I bought replacements. This was a replacement right here. And same freaking issue. I did one ride with this joint and it's like this. So then I bought replacement springs off Amazon. They come in like, you know, you get a multi-pack with a bunch of different size springs for like $6. Replace the springs, same thing. I ride the bike maybe once or twice. Mind you, I'm riding with my kids, so it's not like I'm going dumb fast. I'm not, you know, only riding in the street. That was another thing. When I got it from the dude, it had punk ass knobby dirt bike tires. But when I bought it from him, it had a flat, so I replaced the tube. It come with punk ass Chinese tires, cheap Chinese tires. And like I kept getting a flat. All I do is ride in the street. I live in a golf course neighborhood, dog. It's not like I'm hitting potholes or jumping curbs or none of that shit, right? Kept getting flat, so I got annoyed. Swapped out the tires. I got another set of dirt bike tires. They was cool for a while, but then I was like, mind you, we only in March. But I ride in the street, so I was like, let me get some street tires. I just put these street tires on maybe 2 weeks ago. But anyway, needless to say, again, you know, I know I got a first generation bike. Who knows what they do now? I just know that I've gone through 40s. There's no reason that I should be going through 40s punk ass light control modules for the fucking wheel lights. So I just took it off, y'all. I just took them shits off and we just riding like it is. But I say all that to say, this is the 3rd back 4,000 that was on this bike. And this motherfucker did the same thing that the other 2 did, right? But I can't get help from the builder of the fucking bike because all he knows is I got this shit secondhand, so middle finger to you. That's how he treats me, right? So I got so upset because I placed an order with them for a back 8,000, right? I'm like, at this time, they done already banned me from their little punk ass Facebook group. They already didn't help me at all with the video chat, but I still own this bike, right? My wife was like, why don't you just sell the bike? Because I'm like, don't know, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Everybody around here in the South ride real dirt bikes, real motorcycles, or they got Xions and TALARIAs. Nobody around here ever heard of a freaking Xion. Everybody in Charlotte that has these bikes, they are all originally from the freaking West Coast, because right now you can go on the Charlotte Facebook Marketplace and there's 2 people currently selling the same bike. I done messaged and talked to both of them. Both of them are originally from LA. One's from LA, one's from San Diego somewhere, right? And them bikes been listed for sale for months. Nobody want it. One person is like, yo, we can even do a payment plan. You know what I'm saying? That's what her ad says. Like, nobody's buying these shits. Because we're in the South. People do real, they ride real, boom, boom, real. You know what I mean? Nobody want this piece of shit, right? So I fuck with them again. I go on their website. I order a back 8,000. Pay for this back 8,000, right? This was on like a Thursday. I get an email from them on Monday, like, oh man, I'm sorry. You know, the back 8,000 is sold out. We'll work on getting you a refund, right? So I'm sitting here like, God damn, like I can't even, what am I gonna do? Because this one caught on fire. So like I was not riding this thing again. I ended up jumping on my other bikes. See, they not in here because my wife gets mad when I had these garages full of his electric stuff. So my other bikes are in my basement. But I ended up riding my other bikes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pissed because I got this thing, and this thing is heavy as hell, man. This thing is like 220 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people that ride real motorcycles dealing with 300 and 400 pound bikes. Cause this 200 pound thing is, that shit is whack. But anyway, so I'm like, all right, I look on eBay for a back 8,000, but then I'm like, punk ass people that create these ASI controllers, they don't give you access to the app to tune it, unless you do, unless you're a supplier for them. And then the password that I had for Xion from tuning it before wasn't working no more. I guess they updated it. So I found this company here. Shout out to these guys, High Voltage PEV. I ended up having to order a back 8,000 from them. This is what the inside looks like. So I got a back 8,000 from them. Mind you, I'd attempted to order back 8,000 from punk ass Xion. Week went by, I didn't have my refund. 2 weeks went by, I didn't have a refund. So I ended up having to set up a freaking PayPal, because I paid through PayPal. I had to set up a PayPal claim to get a refund. And when I called Xion, they like, yo, we're a small company, so it takes us a while to do stuff. I'm like, listen, man, I done sold semi-trucks, semi-trailers. I done sold cars. I done sold freaking sneakers, jerseys, all types of things on eBay and websites where I got paid through PayPal, and there's literally a button there that says refund that you can click. You can click that shit while we on the phone. She didn't do that. So I had to wait for a whole PayPal case to go by, which took like 2 weeks just to get my freaking money back, right? I'm so pissed with them. I tried leaving them a Google review, right? Left them a 1-star long ass Google review, right? Let me see if I can pull it up. These motherfuckers reply, yo, man, you bought it used, so we not responsible for whatever issues you have. That's not what I was asking you to be. I was just asking you to be helpful. Because at the end of the day, this bike has your company name on it. You a freaking startup, B. Xion, Mr. GoFundMe, you understand? You a freaking startup. 3 years, 4 years in business, however long you've been in business. And you should want your customer, anybody riding with anything with your name on it, to be satisfied, right? But nah, they don't care. He replies to my Google review telling me, yo, you bought it used, so, you can't be mad at us in a nutshell. And I'm like, yo, all I'm asking is how to get the bike right. That's all I care about. how to get it right. And y'all don't care, right? So that was their response. Then they went the extra mile. I told you, they already done banned me from their punk ass Facebook group, but they go the extra mile of blocking me my Google review, right? I can still see my Google review, right? But if you go up there right now to them, it's Xion.bike on Google. I guess they reported me to Google, and Google disabled my review. So this is the one punk ass company in America. They remind me of Donald Trump, yo. Like, if you say anything negative about them, it's fake news. You understand? You say anything negative about them, they blocking you, B. Instead of taking it as constructive criticism, what can we do to fix the problem, make the situation better? These motherfuckers is cowards, right? I'm an East Coast dude. You know, I've been anti-West Coast my whole life. You understand? Since Tupac and Biggie, right? Middle finger to the West Coast, right? But I'm even more middle finger to the West Coast because them motherfuckers is soft over there, B. Instead of helping customers, y'all rather ignore the customer, ban the customer, block the customer. They blocked me on a Facebook group for asking a question. Never once said anything negative. First time saying something negative to them was a month after the fact, and it was on Google, and it was mainly because y'all was playing with my money, not giving me my refund, right? Because I get it. I bought it used. Cool. That's not the problem. The problem is, why does this bike keep freaking overheating? Why did the first guy replace it twice, and now I am on my third motor, or my third freaking controller? But shout out to High Voltage PEV, because they sent me a brand new back 8000. I was able to use the Kilowatt app to freaking tune it myself. And, you know, so far so good. I've had this new freaking back 8000 for a couple weeks now, and no more overheating. So clearly something's going on with the compatibility between my motor and any back 4000. But so far, this back 8000, I went on a ride. I went, you know, I maxed it out. I'm doing like 61 miles an hour. I drove, you know, around my little area. I think when it was all said and done, I had gone a total of 20 miles. I rode the bike for like an hour. Never went past 40 degrees Celsius. And so I was cool, right? So, middle finger to Xion. You understand? Your customer service is terrible. But a big thumbs up to High Voltage PEV, because y'all came through in the clutch. I was scared to buy a used one off eBay, so I had to buy it from them. But being that I didn't need any harnesses or anything else, they sold me the back 8000 for 500 flat, free shipping. So y'all came through in the clutch, man. Shout out to y'all. And in that time that I finally got a bike that works properly, like I said, when I bought it, it only had less than 100 miles on it. Now, I'm at 581 miles, right? I'm out here riding this thing. Like, I ride it to go get me like a Jersey Mike sub. I ride it to the freaking, you know, obviously I ride around with my kids, but when I ride with my kid, my son can only do 30 miles an hour. So we just stand in the neighborhood and avoiding the street. He on the sidewalk. But now that I don't overheat, I got a real like moped. I'm out there getting it, right? So now that my controller's working properly, I don't have no problem or complaints with the bike. Punk ass lights don't work. And shout out to my kids for convincing me to put these silly ass spoke covers on it. I went multicolored because the wheels used to light up multicolored. But now I realize I look like I'm a part of the colorful rainbow community, you know, but I'm not, you understand? I'm married, I like women, but you know, some people get the wrong impression when they see my flamboyant ass wheels. But now that I have the proper controller, the bike is doing what it's supposed to be, and I couldn't be happier. My question is just this. This bike has your name on it. Customer service is a real thing. You want your company to grow? Customer service is a real thing, B. And it don't take 2 weeks to get nobody no refund on PayPal. It's literally just a button you click. Middle finger to Xion and they mama forever, right? If I could have sold this bike, if people in my area knew something about this bike, I would have sold it. Problem is, don't nobody around here know nothing about this bike. I can't remember the name of the freaking owner, because I'll give him a middle finger too. Y'all Google him, man. But again, middle finger to Xion and their customer service. You got 5-6 grand, you want to buy you an e-bike, buy anything other than this. It's literally a lot of competition out here. You can get an Onyx, you can get a Xion, you can get a TALARIA, you can get a E-Rod Pro SS, you can get a 79 bike. I mean, there's literally so many bike companies in America and China. Huck is right here in North Carolina. They make dope bikes for the same price. So anybody but Xion, right? So if you come across this video because you're thinking about giving Xion CyberX a shot, don't do it, right? Don't do it. They gimmicky ass wheel lights don't perform. I reordered them shits 4 times. Back 4000s, they don't even offer them no more. It's probably the reason. But instead of being real with me and telling me that, listen, don't order a bike from them. This shit ain't worth 5 grand. If you can get this shit sub 2 grand, cool. Because you could always just build a fucking bike yourself, right? You can get you a Razor, right? You can find a used Razor on freaking Marketplace, spending a couple $100 on a motor, spend a couple $100 on a bigger battery. This Razor bike right here, a quad that I made for my 7-year-old, goes faster than this Xion freaking CyberX, right? My Super 73 that I put a 5,000 watt motor, 72 volt battery, far driver controller. It's 120 pounds lighter than this bike and goes faster than this bike. So you can literally buy anything else in the world other than a Xion CyberX and have a better time with it. Middle finger to them. Only cool thing about this bike, especially while I'm waiting on my Cybertruck to get delivered, is the shit look unique. You understand? There's not many e-bikes around here, but when I do see an e-bike, it's not one of these, right? You got the two-tone seat. You got the colorful triangle thing. I put this freaking fender on myself, but middle finger to Xion. Their customer service is terrible. Buy anything else. You heard? Not your average trucker.